guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing to American Horror Story Coven, Episode 8, the Sacred, what was it called? Now I can't think of the title. The Sacred Taking. This was a really great episode in my opinion. I really enjoyed it, as usual. It was a fantastic episode. There was a lot of really great stuff in this episode that we found out, and definitely it was a different type of episode, I think. It was there because one of the things I really love is that in the very beginning we didn't start out with a flashback. There are no more flashbacks, I guess. And I actually really like seeing that. What we see in the beginning pretty much is that Queenie's totally moving on without Zoe and Madison. They go up to her and she says, "I've moved on, I'm with Marie now, and if you don't like it, screw you." And she basically doesn't care what they do anymore, and they're very upset that she betrayed them, but at the same time, it doesn't really surprise them. And Cordelia's pretty shocked about this, but really they're trying to focus on, and I like the way they started the episode without a flashback, because I thought that was really good. But then we get to after the commercials, we come back and we see that now they're basically trying to find a way to kill Fiona. Nan, Cordelia, Madison, and Zoe are all talking, and Madison just says, "Why don't we just slit her throat?" And Cordelia says it's not a good idea, we gotta do it in a more subtle way. What they decided to do is this thing called the Sacred Taking, which basically what the Sacred Taking is it's basically, this ceremony to make someone feel guilty for themselves, and it's basically what they do. We see that Fiona is pretty much deteriorating. She looks very, very bad. Her hair's starting to fall out. She's very, very pale. She's very weak, and she's dying, basically. So we know that she's dying. We know that she's eventually going to die, and yeah, he's gonna die eventually. So it's definitely, it's definitely interesting to see that she's actually dying and to see her deteriorate like this. But then what we see is they start out the plan and everything, and Madison goes there. She basically pretends that she's the Supreme and everything because that's what they want. They want Fiona to feel guilty for her and everything, and I think that was a really great plan. She goes up to her and she basically makes her think she's having this great life and everything while Fiona's having a, stuck here. And they basically say, you can take these pills if you want to, and Then Myrtle Snow comes back, and Myrtle Snow, I keep forgetting this part. Myrtle Snow, pretty much what happens is Myrtle Snow, is back, and also Misty Day, is now living with them at their house, because she got found, and they're basically there so she can hide. And she's brought back, she brought back Myrtle Snow. And Myrtle Snow sounds very different now. Her voice is all like, she kind of sounds like, because she was burned and everything, her vocal cords are like fried. So she kind of sounds like a smoker, sort of. That's what she basically sounds like. That's what she sounds like, pretty much, like a smoker. That's the best way I can describe it. And I think it was interesting the way they did that, because we really haven't seen that, and I think that was actually really cool the way they did that. I was actually a pretty big fan of that. So after this, pretty much what happens is she tells Fiona that this is where Fiona learns that they all know that she killed Madison, and Myrtle Snow says, "Well, the only way out of this is for you to take those pills and to kill yourself." And she also tells her that if she wants to, when she dies, she basically has no one, and that the Axeman is eventually going to leave her. And this really starts to go through her head and everything. She starts to get really worried about all of this. Eventually, though, they do realize, okay, she's kind of suffered enough. And she realizes that this was all a plan and everything. And Cordelia does let her come home, which I was proud of her for this, because this was pretty big here. I actually thought that, something very bad was going to happen to Fiona in this episode, but nothing really that bad happened to her except for this whole confrontation. Also, Spaulding was back as a ghost. I don't know how they did that, but Spaulding was back, and he was the one who told her, "I'm kind of on your side," and everything. He was the one to kind of pull her out of it. And So then she goes back to Cordelia, and her and Cordelia are back at the house and everything. It was pretty interesting to see this. Now, basically what we find out here is Cordelia actually feels guilty that she tried to kill Fiona, and she says, I wanted to kill you. I thought you did a really bad thing for killing Madison. And she basically says that's all in the past now, because now what she has found is a silver bullet. And that big silver bullet pretty much is this thing where pretty much they now know about the witch hunter, and the only person who is going to be able to stop it is Fiona. Fiona's the only person who gives them any chance of survival from this witch hunter, which is pretty big, the way the tables had just turned on that, from her trying to kill her mother to her realizing that her mother is the only, way to get them out of this. Which was really cool, actually. I like the way they did that. And then at the end, she hears a doorbell ring, and Fiona opens the door, and there's this package. She doesn't know what's in the package. But then she opens the package, and there is Delphine's head, but she's not dead, because we found out that she actually cannot die. Let me just get to the other plot. We only got, one scene with Marie. But pretty much what happened is that Marie just tortured Delphine. Delphine said, I can't die, you can't kill me. So Delphine did something that would make, Marie did something that would make Delphine suffer. She takes this thing and she literally cuts off her whole hand, and Delphine is screaming in pain. I thought that scene was awesome, the way just Marie walked away over there. Definitely Marie was the badass of the night. There's always a badass of the night on this show, and on this episode was definitely Marie. She was a real badass. And again, there was a scene with Zoe Madison trying to talk to Queenie, trying to get her back, but she says she feels more accepted here, and she felt detached from the group there, so she just kind of felt like she was detached from the group and everything, so she feels more wanted here. And I think it's really great that we did get to see that from her. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what's going to happen, and she did say that the biggest thing is that she did say it's all out war now, and you're going to lose. So pretty much now she is completely against them. And it's all out war now, and one of them is going to eventually die. I think, at first I thought maybe Fiona's not going to make it, but I think possibly she could. But I think she's probably going to die of that cancer. We see she is still deteriorating, but as long as she doesn't have too much stress, which I doubt is going to happen, then she will live through this. But I don't think she's not going to have, that she will have too much stress. I think that's probably what's going to happen, but you never know. Now, the other thing that was going on that was pretty big was Zoe and Kyle. Now, as we know, Madison and Zoe agreed to share Kyle, basically, which was pretty interesting with that whole threesome thing. They didn't really talk about that in this episode, but we did see that Madison is still, kissing Kyle and everything, but then there's a scene where we see that Kyle's actually starting to learn how to talk and everything and how to read, and, there's a scene where Zoe's talking about how, she's gonna die in this fight and everything, and he says, no, I can't lose you, and everything, and, there's some, things like that, and he basically says, I can't lose you, and he also tells her, and the biggest thing is that he tells her he loves her, and I was like, oh my god, he just talked, and that was a perfect time again to talk, because, I knew he was going to talk at some point, and it's great that he's talking now, because now we don't have to hear over and over again, which was kind of annoying. I thought it was cool, but it was kind of annoying, but I definitely really enjoyed it. And the biggest thing is that Madison actually heard that whole conversation, so now it's going to be all out war between Madison and Zoe. The other thing I forgot to say, I can't believe I forgot this scene. There was a scene with Myrtle Snow where she actually said that because Misty can bring people back from the dead, she believes that Misty is the new Supreme. I do think, though, that they're trying to trick us again. They did it with Zoe, so now I think we don't really know yet, and I do know there's an episode coming up where they're all going to fight to see who's the next Supreme, so that should definitely be interesting to see what's going to happen there. The last thing we have to talk about is probably one of the most interesting parts of the episode for me, and I'm really glad they touched back on this because they briefly showed this in episode 3, but they really did not get back to this whole storyline. We've seen Luke, but we haven't seen his mother since episode 3. It was great that they touched back on this, between what was going on with Nan and Luke's relationship and his mother. As we see, she's very upset that Luke is hanging out with Nan and basically going out with Nan and everything. So she wants to clean him of his clean him basically, and she cleans him up, but she's basically torturing him. Not as bad as Marie is torturing Delphine, but she's still torturing him, and Nan feels really bad. So he takes her out on their first date and everything, and that was the worst time for him to take her out, because basically what happened is basically Joan has shown up there at the same time, and it's not a good thing at all, because Joan shows up and it looks like she's about to expose, she's called the cops on Nan and everything, and she's about to expose everything. But before anything can happen, Hank goes up to her, and he's shooting at the house, because as you know, he wants to kill the witches, so he's just shooting at the house, and Joan is shot through the chest, so she's killed. And then Luke tries to save Nan to keep her from dying, but he ends up getting shot in the head. So is Luke dead? We don't know. All we know is that he was taken to this hospital, but immediately after this happens, she tells all the girls about this, and they go back to the crime scene. This was probably the creepiest scene of the whole show. There were some creepy scenes in this episode. This was definitely the top one, where the lights were flickering and everything. That was pretty creepy. But in the end, Misty does bring back Joan, but she did not bring back Luke, which I was very surprised about. Why'd you bring back Joan and not Luke? Joan is the one who's going to kill all of you. Joan is the one who's going to expose all of you. Joan is a nut. Why did you bring Joan back? I don't know. But, that was pretty much, the episode. So now, Joan's back, but Luke's not. So I don't know why they didn't bring back Luke, but we'll have to see. But I definitely really love this episode. I thought there were some really great things about it. There were so many things that I loved about this episode. Of course, it's been a great episode. Now, unfortunately, next week's episode is the last episode before the hiatus, which it comes back in January, luckily, but there's only 4 episodes after that. But I definitely really like what they're doing here. You do get a sense that they're starting to wrap things up. And I do think it's now going to be there's a big war coming up, definitely, and they're all going to have to prepare for it. Now, let me know what you guys saw this episode. Did you like how Fiona changed from the one they're trying to kill, from the one who's going to save them, basically? I think that was really great, because for a while she didn't really have anybody, and I thought that was really great. Also, do you think that Misty's going to bring back Luke? I think she's probably going to. I just don't know why she didn't bring him back. Also, do you think Madison's going to turn on Zoe now that she knows Zoe and Kyle? Kyle said he loved Zoe and everything. Do you think she's going to, be really upset about this? I think she's probably going to be pissed about this, and it's not going to be a good thing at all. It looks like next week Cordelia is also going to get her vision back, which should be interesting to see. And I'm wondering what's going to happen there. And also, is Fiona going to die of natural causes, or is she going to just get killed by somebody? She pretty much, this episode confirms that she's going to die in some fashion at some point, and it's going to be pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be on the show, but it's going to be at some point. It's not going to be a good thing at all. So, is she going to die of natural causes, or is she just going to, what's going to happen to her? But, yeah, that's pretty much it for my review. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye!